So Bandai just released their latest Super Saiyan Goku Masterlise figure, and it's based off of his emotional goodbye from the Cell games. In today's video, we'll be reviewing all of the details behind the figure, the references of it, and addressing any of the concerns that the community had for it. We do Dragon Ball figure reviews, news, and more here on the channel, so if you don't want to miss out on any of the hottest releases, make sure you subscribe. As mentioned earlier, this figure is based on Goku's farewell to his friends during the Cell games as Cell is about to explode in chapter 412 of the Dragon Ball manga and episode 188 of the original Dragon Ball Z anime. It's a very popular moment from Dragon Ball, and the illustration that Toriyama drew is wonderful. I want to quickly point out that this is based off of Goku saying goodbye to his friends and not when he's directly touching Cell just a few moments later. I mention this because a lot of people have been positioning him in front of Cell to teleport him, myself included, in this shot, but I just wanted to point that out as it's not exactly the same moment. This figure comes from Bandai's Ichiban Kuji line of figures. Ichiban Kuji is a lottery system in Japan where you pull tickets to win prizes, usually new sets of figures from different anime. If you want to learn more about Ichiban Kuji, I recommend hitting this link right after this review. Today's figure is also a Masterlise figure. The Masterlise series of figures are exclusive to Ichiban Kuji releases and are the most popular types of figures within it too. Masterlise now has over 200 different Dragon Ball figures for you to collect, and they are definitely my favorite types and most recommended type of Dragon Ball figures. But if you aren't familiar with Masterlise, I recommend watching this video right here after this review. As mentioned in my last couple of videos regarding this set, we still aren't completely sure who sculpted this Goku figure. This figure and its entire set was released on May 16th, 2025 in Japan, and it will not have an overseas release at the time of recording this video. So basically, that means that you're not going to be able to find this figure on regular websites like Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, all that stuff, so you will have to import him out of Japan. If you want to know how to buy this figure, keep watching the video, we'll touch on that later on. Now, unlike the Daima figures in this set, the rest of the figures have a much different design to their boxes. They look a lot closer to the more recent Omnibus figures, like an Omnibus Ultimate and Omnibus Amazing. I love the box designs though, as they really do feel like they're trying to reflect the anime and manga as best as they can. The front of Goku's box has a sleek white background, various logos for the anime and Kuji set, and an orange windowed illustration of the destroyed Cell Games battleground. It also has Goku's prize letter on the front. The side of the box has a contrasted orange look to Goku with a quote from the moment that the figure is capturing. It says, "Bye-bye everyone." How emotional. The back of the box features Goku against that same illustration of the Cell Games behind him and a description for Masterlise. The other side of the box has another shot of Goku at the Cell Games. And the top of the box has the Kuji logo, his prize letter, and the Toei animation sticker, which is his sticker of authenticity. Goku sealed in a plastic shell with a plastic sheet to protect him, like all of the other figures in this set. He comes whole with his support. If you need to further authenticate him, you can use his Bandai stamp, which I was able to find right here. Now that we're done looking at the box of this figure, let's take a deeper look at the actual details behind the emotional figure itself. When this figure was originally revealed, I and many others had major reservations about his face and parts of his sculpt. It didn't look very fleshed out, and we thought this could be the big loser of the set. I'm so glad that we were so wrong. Goku's face is so well done with very soft features. I love the line work around his eyes to accentuate his features a bit, and the bolding around his eyes really make them pop. Goku's smile is very cleanly sculpted and painted, plus we can't ignore the blood dripping down the side of his mouth and the scuff marks on his forehead. That's some awesome attention to detail. There's even a scuff mark on his neck. His hair is really unique too. The sculpting is very similar to most Super Saiyan Goku hair pieces, but the paint and shading is very clean. It has more of a whitish finish to it, which is very similar to how Super Saiyan hair was depicted back in the 90s. I love the mixtures of yellows and whites to really make it pop. I did see a slight QC issue of red paint on the back of his hair, but it's pretty hard to notice. Plus, I'm gonna have him facing forward, so it's not a big deal to me. There are so many brushstrokes on this figure, so it really does feel like a work of art. The musculature of his arms are well done, and I love the way the battle damage has been done along his gi. There's tons of shading with yellows and oranges on his gi, with a more muted matte finish for his blues. A lot of the paint and sculpting styles of this figure remind me of the Battle for the Universe Super Saiyan Goku. I truly wonder if the same sculptor worked on both of these pieces. There was a small area that I noticed that looked a little odd, and it was his exposed knee. You can kind of tell that it's a separate part since there's a seam line above it, but it's only something you'll notice if you're angling and looking for it. Goku's at a standard height of 10.5 inches and pairs very well with other Masterlise figures. I think he pairs perfectly with other Cell Saga figures in the series, like the E-moving Gohan. He does look a bit bigger than the new exploding Cell figure, but that's more of a fault on Cell than Goku that we'll talk about in Cell's review. This is also one of the only official Cell Saga Goku figures that we've seen in Masterlise. I do hope Bandai does come back to Goku again for the Cell games, maybe making us a figure of him during his fight with Cell, or of course a Masterlise Plus of Goku and Gohan doing the father-son Kamehameha. There have been so many Super Saiyan Goku figures made within the Masterlise series that you can pair him up with. I think he stands out quite a bit from what we've seen so far and looks pretty awesome with other battle damage Super Saiyan Gokus. So, like I mentioned earlier, this figure is not getting an overseas release, so most of the regular retailers that do get overseas products like Ichiban will not be carrying him, but you can pick him up with today's sponsor, Jump Ichiban. Jump Ichiban is now my most trusted and best seller for modern Dragon Ball figures. They're able to get all of the latest releases right there to your door, and it gets to you super fast. Just for context, whenever I order my figures from Jump Ichiban, they get to me within a week. So now I don't have to wait and wonder how long product is going to get to me. I can get it right there within moments and feel like I'm opening this stuff up as if I'm right there in Japan. They also carry stuff beyond Dragon Ball figures. They have acrylic logos, vinyl records, and so much more. It really does pay to be a loyal member with Jump Ichiban, but if you do want to get a discount during your first order, use my discount code MatchesPeaches10 to get 10% off of your first order of 2 or more items, or if you're a returning buyer, you can use my other discount code MatchesPeaches5 to get 5% off of any order unlimited times. So thank you very much, Jump Ichiban, but now let's wrap up this review. So does this Goku figure overcome the hesitations that we had about him? Absolutely. In fact, I think he might be my number 2 pick in this entire set. I keep going back and forth between him and another figure in this set, but I truly believe he is one of the best releases that we've had this year. The quality of the figure reminds me a ton of the Battle for the Universe Super Saiyan Goku that released in October 2023, and even back then, I was so shocked with the quality behind that figure. Now, I don't think he quite reaches that height. I think they're on the same playing field, but I do prefer the Battle for the Universe one, but definitely ripped from the same cloth. It's such a triumph and an amazing figure that I truly wish I knew who sculpted it so I can shout them out and give them a big thank you. And I really do hope that we get more special Goku figures like this as we continue to grow our Masterlise collections. But those are my thoughts, guys. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you made it this far in the video and you enjoyed it, then please leave a like and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you want to join our awesome community of collectors and enthusiasts that are just like you, there is a link to our Discord in the description below. It's free to entry for everybody. And if you do want to go even further beyond in supporting the channel, consider becoming a YouTube member. That way you get early access to videos just like this, and you'll be featured here in the credits. But whatever you guys decide to do, your generosity is greatly appreciated. But I think that's all I got for you guys today. So till the next video, I'll see you all later.